How do you see today different than it has been in the past? I mean, there's so many factors involved there. And I know this is probably a pretty common question you get about what do you see in the market? But really, what I'm trying to get down is do you see anything that stands out today more than it has in the past?
Yeah, well, I think this is the fourth major correction that I've lived through. The S&L crisis, early 90s, excuse me, the recession in the early 2000s, the GFC, 08, 09. This correction is very, very different in two main ways. One is the way in which lenders are dealing with their problems. S&L crisis, the banks were going through a 2-year or 3-year foreclosure process, taking title, hiring brokers to sell. 2000, early 2000s and GFC, banks decided not to go through that process. They would prefer to just sell the paper. They were hiring brokers to do that. This time around, they're doing everything in a much more under the radar screen type of way, trying to make quiet deals, talking to their customers about deals, not wanting too much public notice or transparency regarding what their book really consists of. And that has been a very, very tangible difference between today's circumstances and the past corrections we've had. And the other difference is that in those past corrections, all product types were declining in value, and it just was to varying degrees. Today, different product types are moving in different directions. And I think that's a function of this being the longest correction we've ever had. Prior to this, we had the S&L crisis was a 4-year correction. Here, we've been in correction mode essentially since October of 2015. We had a 12-month vacation from the correction, which was the second half of '01 and the first half of 21 and the first half of
Right.
22. But based on the interest rate increases and spreads blowing out, that exerted some more downward pressure on prices. And here we are all this time later. We're now effectively 8 years into a correction, almost 8 years. Because of that, different product types are performing differently. The retail sector, I think, is a positive sector today.
Mhm.
It's been hammered for years and years, but for the first time in 5 years, I'm getting calls from investors looking for retail deals.